Hotep, Black Power, brothers and sisters. As always, giving honor to the Creator, giving honor to the ancestors, and to all of you all, as well as my sister, Chief of Staff Harris Abdul, my father, my in-laws, and my subscribers. Welcome. This last week has been very, very disturbing in Washington, D.C. based on the fact that it's been a rash of killings, serious killings, and I want to take a look at that today. One second. I want to take a look at that. When everybody sees Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, people look at it like it's so beautiful and gorgeous and so, so exquisite and so diverse and all this multicultural, ethnic love and all of this, all of the bullshit that white supremacy hypnotizes the disenfranchised blacks and brown people to believe that everything is okay. To accept your living conditions and be content with living in hell. They have one of the most largest, massive subway transit systems in the country, which runs well over 200 and something odd miles all across the DMV, meaning Maryland, DC, and Virginia, Northern Virginia. Massive transit. I meant to say mass transit. However, in spite of all of that front scenery, here we have a young teenage brother who was gunned down and slaughtered over the weekend. And as you can see, the routine that they use, well, they stand over the body, smoke cigarettes, drink coffee, eat donuts, talk about the basketball game and all this, while our brothers and sisters are lying there with rigor mortis setting in. And it's a damn shame, it's a damn disgrace on how our brothers and sisters are treated when they are murdered here in D.C. The housing projects has become, a gated prison that the whites don't wish for the blacks to come outside of the gates for anything. Stay inside the gated communities and deal with trauma among yourselves. Deplorable housing, which I'll show you shortly. Deplorable housing. All types of incest, child molestation, substance abuse, police terrorism. One of the poorest education systems in the country, where our people are miseducated. And when I say poor education, don't go by what the school board says on the national survey. None of that. I'm not talking about none of that, because it doesn't matter when we're talking about educating our brothers and sisters on who they are. That's education and where they come from, why they are in the condition that they're in. That's education. Not no fucking George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and all that bullshit and Frederick Douglass. That's not education. That's miseducation. That's called the curriculum. Those things are required for teachers to at least verbally convey that information, that misinformation to our babies and our young teens. And so by you having generation of miseducated youths, they're going to be miseducated on how to live. They're going to be miseducated socially, economically, financially, morally, which turns into self-hate. But self-hate actually starts at home, and then it goes into the school where, our babies are taught to hate themselves because the pictures that they show that they consider heroes and sheroes, none of them look like them. So the self-hate starts within home and then primarily the school system. And this is what you get. These are all the brothers and sisters, that have been murdered. And this is just a few in D.C. A lot of them I know personally. And we are at war based on miseducation. Now they have us thinking, oh, it's the youth. It's this gang stuff. It's this, it's that. But once again, white supremacy is the core of this. When they bring the guns in the community, they bring and supply the drugs in the community, and they sit back and watch our people kill one another. Based on the fact that when you teach someone to hate themselves and they have a rage within themselves, anyone or anything that resembles them, they have the same amount or more hatred towards them. So it's no problem eliminating them and taking out on them all the pain and frustration that you have endured. So it's just like you killing yourself, because you're killing a reflection of yourself. And it's always a 2-for-1 deal. This is how they have this shit set up, where it's a 2-for-1 deal. If they catch the brother who killed the other brother, one brother's gone and one is in prison for the rest of his life. So that's a 2-for-1 deal. And a lot of times when we think it's the gangs, a lot of times it's government agents posing as gang members perpetrating the killing. And they are in every gang in every inner city in the United States. And you may wonder why. Why would they do that? The purpose of them doing that is part of population control and the annihilation of the black male. And the killing, if you notice, the killing has start to take a rapid pace. More and more of our people are being murdered each day. More and more. It has doubled, tripled, and now it has spread out through all the inner cities in the United States. And we continue to blame one another instead of going to the culprit, the mastermind behind all of this. Now, let me give you an example. Why is it that you don't ever try to go to the source of the weapons? Mothers, how does your son, he's 15 years old, how did he get a Russian AK-47 in his bedroom or in your living room under the couch? From Russia. And he's never been 7 blocks past the projects. Because once again, let me explain this to you again, because it's very important. The government has truckloads of weapons. That's why they always tell you, the weapon, the buyback program. They'll give you a pair of Jordans for your weapon, and they don't do anything with the weapons, but redistribute those weapons in another city. That's all. The weapon exchange program. That's basically what it is. And what they do, they'll have some of these crackers sell weapons to our brothers and sisters. Check out the movie Strapped. It will tell you, it will show you one of the ways that the weapons get into the hood. Where you have these crackers who have licenses and they can buy multitudes of weapons. And what they do is they find a black youth that they can trust, and they sell the weapons through him. That's just one of the ways. The other way is leaving trucks in these shopping malls unlocked full of weapons with federal agents around the truck, allowing these youths to take a certain amount of weapons out of the truck, and they'll bum rush the truck while they run, and then they'll just take that truck without arresting anyone, take that truck and go into another city or another hood, the nearest shopping center there. Now, with the drugs coming from Colombia, how does it get in your son's hand? Once again, he hasn't been 7 blocks from his house. What it does, it goes through the mayor, through the city councilman, and it's distributed through certain wards, and certain task force members pick certain people to be kingpins and run certain neighborhoods and distribute the drugs. Why do you think those 7 punk motherfuckers in Baltimore, those punk ass pigs, were knocked off, and that brother was going to testify against him because it was going to snowball? The snowball effect was going to take place, and heads would have been rolling all the way to the mayor. So the police, they had to eliminate that brother. And that's a clear example right there. But the media tried to twist it because they know about the drug trade, how the drugs get into the community. They just want a story to report. And they love to have coverage on murders because they know the black community tunes in to see who it is that got murdered, to see if they know that person. So, this young brother, he lost his life. Now, what about his daughter? Now, what does his daughter do? She has to hope that the mother, if she's a decent mother, will find a decent man that doesn't have any issues, that won't abuse the child no way, physically, emotionally, mentally, or sexually. There could be a parent and a father to that pretty young baby. Or hopefully the mother has brothers and sisters, uncles, nephews that will huddle around the baby and participate in her upbringing. But at the same time, that young man's parents and family has to go into grieving. And then maybe his brother will get so mad that he wants to make somebody pay for this. And then it's another family in the same position. This brother here, these two gentlemen here are former clients of mine. They've both lost their lives recently. And as young as they were, they never got a chance. And I knew the issues that both of them were dealing with. And it was hard for them to try to raise themselves up out of the situations that they were in. And they lost their lives. You know, in the drug trade. You know, these are the housing projects in D.C. Rat infested, roach infested, povertized housing projects that rarely does someone make it out of there. And I'm not talking about someone that comes out of there and becomes a star, a superstar, or an athlete, or entertainer, or anything like that. I'm just talking about someone who comes out of there, gets a decent college education, gets married, has raised a decent family, and help his family come out of there. You know, they're far and few in between. Because when you're living in these deplorable conditions, where everyone is disenfranchised, the majority of the tenants suffer from lack of education, no moral stability, no vocational skills, no social skills. Slang language is the language. And just standing outside on a corner or in an alley wondering, what are you going to do with your life? Will I live to see the week out? It's a vicious cycle, brothers and sisters. A vicious cycle. Now, I'll tell you the difference in Washington, D.C. that they don't talk about. Now, this is the unemployment center. As you can see, the brothers and sisters are in line. Line goes all the way outside. Most of them never even get seen. No matter, and a lot of them go back day after day after day, never get seen. Some of them have to catch 3 and 4 buses to get to the place. Place opens at 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. And the earliest they can get here is 8. And by that time, the line is going down the street. And to have that type of patience day after day after day after day, at some point, our brothers and sisters lose patience. And they go to the underworld because they have to eat. They have to feed their families. Opposed to the Latino community. They are already inside. They're taken care of with the snap of a finger. They're given food stamps. You know, no one checks their apartment. You know, they have 12 and 13 and 14 occupants in a 2-bedroom apartment. But when a sister is on Section 8, they go in there and just check room to room, sniffing and smelling like it's a slave quarters. Sniffing for a black male. But the Latino community and the Koreans, they can bundle up, you know, almost 20 to an apartment and nothing is said. And they bring roaches They bring diseases. A lot of them are illegal and have diseases. They are infected with all types of diseases from running across the border, running through across the desert, running across creek water, being chased by the Texas Rangers. A lot of them have subjected themselves sexually to the Texas Rangers. And a lot of them bring gonorrhea, syphilis, AIDS, TB, herpes to this country. But yet they get treated. Medical treatment is adequate. Medical treatment is available for them at the snap of a finger. Food stamps, emergency relief money, where the black man who's been in DC all his life can never get a piece of relief, not $1. The only way he can get any type of money, he has to, most of the times, they have to be shot in a wheelchair or blind from being wounded in the streets, and just get pennies of Social Security. Brothers like this brother, who were war heroes in Vietnam and Desert Storm, they were war heroes, saved a lot of lives, while everybody sat back and enjoyed their freedom, the luxury of their freedom. You know, these brothers were heroes, killing all day, each and every day, saving lives, jumping out of airplanes. And when they come back, they're nothing. They're treated as nothing. And they have to resort to going to the traffic light for change, going into the soup kitchens, hoping they can get a bite to eat. Because everyone looks down on them. Because they weren't treated properly for PTSD. They weren't treated for depression. And this is the state that they're in. And we look down on them. And they are younger and younger that are homeless. They come younger and younger. They're down to the teens. You know, whether it's substance abuse, whether their parents are incarcerated, whether they've been in foster homes, group homes, and ran away because they weren't willing to get down sexually with any foster parents or these dirty goddamn men. Doesn't matter. The end results are the same. And they're younger and younger. Deplorable conditions. Very deplorable conditions. Look at this baby. Look at the conditions that this baby has to live with. And then we sit around and we talk about each other and we try to act like we're better off than each other when all of us, all black people, are in the same condition, no matter how much money you got. And this is for you motherfuckers who, you know, got millions and millions of dollars. You know, that you were damn near in this position at one time, but now you forgot. You know, what goes around comes around. And the street law soldiers, what we do, we feed the people. We feed the people. I don't have a GoFundMe page or anything like that because we use our own money. But we can always use help. We can always use donations. So if you have anything that you want to contribute, clothing, food, money, or whatever, old shoes, it doesn't matter. Someone out here, some of our brothers and sisters will make that a treasure because someone's trash is always someone else's treasure. And instead of being homeless, a lot of our brothers and sisters resort to crime. Unfortunately, some of them are better off incarcerated because they feel as though they can lay on clean sheets, a clean jumpsuit, clean underwear, 3 meals a day. And that's sickening, where the best way that you figure you're better off being incarcerated than being out here. That's the sad part of this. This is a 1920 picture of Washington, D.C., where they still had, these were supposedly have been DC jail inmates. If you can notice the ball and chain on the ground, the ball and chain hooked to their legs and waist while they're cleaning the streets of DC, which is not too much different from the prison industrial complex. But in all actuality, this looks like a slavery picture, which it is. Drugs. Now it's become an epidemic because when these crackers are ODing off the fentanyl and this and this that ice and all that whatever you call that that shit that they smoke, that it's like crack, but it's real clear like ice. They call it ice, and primarily though the opiate so-called epidemic is supposedly being affecting and killing a lot of whites in suburban America. Now it's an epidemic, but blacks in the black community, dope has been in the black community forever, and nothing has been done about it. The war on drugs, only thing that meant was that they're gonna lock blacks up and let them come out, use the drugs again, lock them back up, use them again, lock them back up, use them again, get the money from their proceeds from their hustling and keep it. And lock them up. Now that these crackers are ODing and dying off this fentanyl and this opioid epidemic, if you will, now they want to do something about it. But they never mentioned anything about the black community having the opioid epidemic. So if you want to get rid of, if you get rid of the drugs in the black community, which will never happen. Now let me say this. You got crackers that can legally go to CVS and Rite Aid and get dope volumes and all that. And the government, you know, they have the government's permission. Just like you have a lot of these crackers that purposely go to these methadone clinics and they get massive doses of it. Now that's a medicine, but when it's abused, it becomes a narcotic. And when you get it when you don't need it, that's substance abuse. And what they do is they get massive doses of it to where they get inebriated. So the government allows them to go to CVS and get painkillers, Vicodin, Percocet, Valium, all of these narcotics that the government allows them to get because they have the proper insurance to get these type of drugs, because the black community, most blacks can't afford health care. They don't have affordable health care. But yet, the drugs on the street, you send the black man to prison. Opiate is an opiate, whether it's in pill form or whether it's in powder form. So you give Susie's mom permission to get high, but Jamal standing on the corner, he gets 10 years for trying to feed his family. The fuck out of here. You know, this is just one of the hypocrisies that they use. And then they have our people saying, oh, you know, selling drugs is terrible. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But what did you tell a man who was unable to feed his family? Oh, well, you can go this place and that place. He's been everywhere. Been everywhere. Church. The church is supposed to have been the cornerstone of the community. And they only feed people once a week. But you damn near have to join the church just to get a bite to eat. I've seen it. I know about that shit. You know, they don't give them food stamps. Can't find employment because of a criminal history. So he has no choice but to go to the underworld to feed his family. Because there's only a certain amount of times you can go home and explain to your children why they're not going to be able to have a decent meal. And it's easy to throw out other alternatives, but if you haven't been in that position, you need to shut the fuck up. Same with the guns. All these foreign weapons. How do they get in the hood? And see, what they want to do is disarm the black community for once. After they eliminate and kill and annihilate the majority of black men, where they can take over the black communities and put the black communities under siege. And so they won't be able to retaliate because they won't have any weapons. That's one of the main missions and agendas of white supremacy. Hold on to your weapons. You're just pointing them at the wrong people. Point them at the people that are responsible for your conditions. Point them at the people who are counting on your annihilation for their success. And that's why this motherfucker has given white supremacy and white America permission to fuck over the black community and fuck over the black race, and we allow this shit to take place. Because every time they kill one of us, we come up with another organization We come up with another movement, and we continue to keep marching and singing. Can't no book, can't no reading, can't no law get us out of this shit. And you can come to the cracker with the law stating how wrong he is. The white man's gonna say, so what? So what? Do something about it. And that's why I say war is the only answer. We fought all other wars, we fought all other people that he said fight, but you won't fight him. That's why I say the black man has taken a cowardice mentality and demeanor when it comes to the system of racism, white supremacy. And this motherfucker here, this punk ass nigga here, he condoned and gave white supremacy the green light. And you niggas voted for him, y'all was Obama crazy. And he didn't do nothing but shit on black people. He's just a goddamn a tan cracker. And you motherfucking niggas went for that shit. And Glenn Ford, Darren Muhammad debated Tony Browder, Leonard Jeffries. We knew about this shit. We knew this nigga wasn't gonna be shit. We seen it coming. And people argued me down. Some people ready to fight over this motherfucking nigga. That he was gonna do this, he was gonna do that, he was gonna do this, he was gonna do that. And he didn't do a goddamn thing for nobody. The black community should be pissed. Nah, but we so much of fucking cowards. So cowardly. No one said nothing to him. No one. You know, he gets to go to the basketball games, front row seats. You know, somebody should slap all this shit out of him. And his daughter is sucking on a white man's dick as we speak. And I'm getting ready to bring that shit about him, you know, fucking with these homosexuals prior to him becoming president. I'm gonna show y'all the proof soon. It's coming. It's coming. I got it now, but I'm just waiting. Because it's the right time is gonna come, and I'm gonna show y'all. Because you didn't believe it at first. You did not believe it at first. You know, and these motherfucking devils depend on our stupidity and on our cowardice. Because they continue to keep killing us, keep eliminating us, taking us off the motherfucking planet. And guess what we do? We do nothing. We do nothing. Nothing. We make excuses for not going to his ass. We make up 1,000 excuses for not going to this cracker's ass. No one has. George Zimmerman is still alive. All the officers that murdered in cold blood all of our babies, all of them are still alive. Most of them back on the police force. No one has done shit. But yet, we ride on each other. Just like I tell the brothers in DC, the same shit. You don't give your brother a chance. You'll kill him at a drop of a hat. You'll knock his brains out his goddamn head at any opportunity that you get. But this cracker, you won't say shit to this cracker. You are so scared of the white man. It is nauseating how some of you niggas ain't nothing but fucking punks. A real thorough motherfucker doesn't have no cut card. He's not gonna do nothing to his family but protect his family. which means everybody that looks like him. And anybody that fucks with his family, he's going after their ass. But people who do the opposite, see, some of y'all living room gangsters, even in your own immediate families. You'll buck on your brothers and sisters and all that, be in the living room and all that type of shit, jump down your mother and father's throat. But you ain't gonna do shit outside. You ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing outside. Because you know you can get away with it in the house. Because the chances of your brother or sister killing your motherfucking ass is slim to none. But it does happen. But see, when you go out in the street where a motherfucker don't care nothing about your ass, you ain't got nothing to say. That's when house gangsters, living room gangsters. But us as a whole, we keep making excuses. It doesn't matter if you work for the government. Be the spook who sat by the door. Don't, you know, even you niggas that are police officers or on the side of the law, don't arrest your brothers and sisters and cousins or no shit like that. That means you are a coward ass nigga. You are a coward ass nigga. You know, or you take from your family. You take from your family. Borrow money from your immediate family. Borrow money from your mother and father. When you're supposed to be taking care of them. You a coward ass nigga. You know, and a lot of you all are so pussified and pussy whipped. You become so fucking weak that you let a woman dictate your entire thought process. You don't even think for yourself no more. You know, the woman is supposed to work with you. With you. You know, and you know, I hear people saying that other half. She's my other half. Fuck no. I'm not no half of shit. I'm whole. And she's supposed to be whole. And we work together. See, when you thinking that's my other half, that means you a half a goddamn man. And it shows. Because you give somebody else half of your goddamn being. Half of your existence. You know, we gotta wake up, brothers and sisters. Let's just wake up, step up to this motherfucking plate, and do what is necessary. This shit gotta end. This shit here has to stop, man. This shit has to end yesterday. Time for us to get back on our motherfucking square and deal with African principles. Come on, man. Let's step up to the plate, man. I'm going to be back shortly with another video. Hotep Black Power.